ItsKatStyle. 안녕하세요 여러분. 저는 FunPik PD Kat. If you're here from my previous video, then welcome back. And if you're new here, you might want to check out the first part of this mini content series. A short recap on my last video's introduction. I'm a Filipina who has a special connection with Korea as I began to know and learn about the country 10 years ago and is currently a Hallyu content creator. Last time we discussed about the differences of Korea and the Philippines from different aspects such as variety show, cost of living, healthcare, rules, mobile applications, leisure activity, and seasons. This time, as promised, we will be discussing the similarities of Korea and Philippines culture, which is rarely talked about, with loads of contents on YouTube on culture shocks. I think it's time to also talk about similarities to have a common ground. 그럼, ano yung sasang 뭐예요? The emergence of Hallyu across the globe played a vital role in the success of Korean pop. This also brought to the appreciation of other sides of Korean entertainment such as K-drama, Korean entertainment, ballad singers, and even hip-hop dancers. Both Korea and the Philippines started their K-pop and P-pop groups during the 90s and 2000s. With the likes of Prince, Leo Ri, and Girls' Generation, we had 𝗪𝗵𝘁, 𝗪𝗵𝘁, and SEXBOMB girls. More recently, Korea had BTS, which amassed a ton of ARMY, while the Philippines has just recently break through the global market through SB19 and their fans 18. Though it's not a direct comparison among artists since of course each one have built their own distinct image, it's notable that both countries' pop culture have a long history. And it's a great milestone for us Filipinos to finally be recognized in that area. I would say both countries have a really remarkable pool of talents when it comes to singing or dancing. There's even a joke among foreigners that they hadn't met a Filipino who can't sing well. To name a few more artists in both countries, there's Kim Jong-kook, IU, Mamamoo, Arnel Pineda, 𝗵𝗵𝘁, and Lea Salonga. We can't also deny that both profess a love for singing and dancing. With the success of Street Woman Fighter, I also found out that Korea has an undeniable talent of dancers who were underrated, and if not for the program, we may not have known them. In the Philippines, we also had numerous dancing competition programs that inspired a lot of people to dance. And nowadays, because of K-pop and P-pop and TikTok, we keep on discovering more dancers who deserve our applause. Did you know that despite the many unique dishes of Korea, we can refer to some of their dishes similar to the looks and taste of some Filipino dishes? First is rainbow 𝗃 and Sapin. From the looks of it, both are colorful rice cake, although I am not sure how a rainbow 𝗃 may taste in terms of sweetness, but I can vouch that Sapin, if you have a sweet tooth, is the way to go. Next is samgyetang and tinola. This is another dish that looks the same, but also different. The ingredients and process of cooking are also similar. Both dish has a clear soup base. This is usually served as a main entry with white rice. Another example would be Jokbal and crispy pata. Yum. This one is made out of pig trotters. Though it seems similar, Jokbal is usually braised in a combination of sauce, while crispy pata, as the name suggests, involves boiling and deep frying the pork leg. When it comes to transportation, you'll have it easy in Korea, where you can go from different cities from a ride of a train for a reasonable price with a T-man. And actually, the same goes for the Philippines with beep card. We have an LRT, which is commonly used by the public for transportation from home to school or office. As observed, Korea's train is situated underground or on land, which is a good choice because you can see the surroundings from the windows of Seoul's train, while LRT in Manila glides above road traffic through an elevated path. So for those with fear of heights, I hope you can experience this one. January is ending and this means Korean Lunar New Year is around the corner. Sonal is a festival and national holiday commemorating the first day of Korean calendar, and it is considered to be one of the most important holidays in Korea. This reminded me of both countries' tradition to spend holidays with their family or go back to one's hometown, spend time to rest and bond with the family. For the Philippines, as a country who's also been known as family-oriented, I think more Filipino adults choose to live with their families rather than become independent because we really have that strong tie or connection with our parents and siblings. And for some who also left their families home for work, just like most Koreans, we are used to the tradition of going back home during holidays and sometimes with the expectation of you treating them. I mentioned this one in one of my previous videos last year. This is a significant and one of the obvious similarity Koreans and Filipinos share. It's the respect that's shown through our language. In Korea, they have different speech level designated to whoever you are talking with. For formal conversation, they use honorific expressions or junditmal. And for their chingus, they speak casually or banmal. For the Philippines, though we don't have such speech level, we use the term po, opo, ate, kuya, and paki in our language to express our respect through our language. Along with this, Korea and the Philippines have a wonderful language. And this includes creating various new words, phrases, references that we use in everyday conversation, which we call as slangs. And I actually noticed this in watching variety shows and spending much time on social media. To share with you a few slangs, here are the Filipino ones. Marupok, a girl or a guy who falls in love easily. The serve. It is a sassier version of the word deserve, and this is usually said to those who really deserve what they got. Quite wholesome, right? Marites. The marites is the embodiment of every nosy tita or auntie who's eager to share what's new, not about themselves, but about other people. Finally, yarn. Yarn is not the long fibers you use for crochet, but this is an evolution of the word yan or iyan. That, which people nowadays use to express doubt or just to show that they are pleasantly surprised, often with what they saw or what they heard or what they said or what they recently said. Paulit-ulit yarn. Now, the next slangs came from Korean culture and from this website called Create Trip. Samguida. The Korean word for officially dating in Korea is saguida. Sa is also used to indicate 4 and sam is number 3. So samguida is a slang used to indicate the state of a relationship where they're not official couple, but it's an exciting dating and getting to know stage. 만관부. 만관부. This is a short term for 많은 관심 부탁드립니다. And this is often used by celebrities on social media. It means I or we ask for your attention. A lot of your attention. 만관부. 어쩌지고. This literally means 오늘, 저녁, chicken, go? Yes. Last but not the least is similarity with the weather. As mentioned in my previous video, Philippines only experience 2 seasons. And one of that is rainy season, which usually happens from May to October. At the same time, in Korea, they also have a short season called Jangma, which happens to be the same months of rainy season in the Philippines, and I think both is caused by the summer monsoon, characterized by a strong, generally west or southwest breeze that is responsible for bringing significant rainfall to the Asian subcontinent and to South and East Asia, which includes Philippines and Korea. So in Korea, it's called Jangma, and in the Philippines, it's called Habagat. And that's it for this mini content series on Culture Shock/Relate. What do you think about this information? Can you think of more differences and similarities? How about in your country? Share them in the comments below, and always remember that despite the differences of each country, it's also important to know about the similarities for us to build a connection. After all, we're all just human beings in this world. Connect through similarities and respect differences. Once again, it's KatStyle. See you on my next video. Annyeong!